The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News, the place to go for gaming news, covers all your gaming content needs with an array of reviews, interviews, walkthroughs, guides. They have it all. And right now you can check out their featured article of the week, a review of the best video games of the mid-year 2020. There is a bunch of them out there. My vote is Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Maybe next year we could do a Flogsy for the best video game of the year. So if you like video game content, quality video game content, Shack News, the place to be this summer. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, most importantly on Twitch at Shack News. Check those streams out. And at shacknews.com.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kitzer from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Free Shakalaka. Reflog. It's just golfer backwards. Boom Shakalaka.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, July 6th, 2020. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, live from right outside Flavortown, Ohio, Chris McNeil. What's up, brother?
Recovering from the 4th. I'm back here, man. Got all 10 digits, too. Didn't blow anything off with the fireworks, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Well done. Well done. And we've got a new face in town. We've got our producer, Mr. Nick Greenwood. What's up, Nick?
Not too much, Dave. Living the dream.
Living the dream. Now, Chris,
Yes.
fireworks, how many did you launch off? How crazy did it
was
get?
a ton. We had, what do we have? 5 tables, 5 like 6 to 10 foot tables that were all loaded. You know, those cubes that you get with the multiple shots. We had those. We fabbed these up. We had stainless steel tubes that we loaded mortars into that were below that. So we had the mortars going at the same time as the boxes. And we had this system where we had 2 boxes basically super glued onto a piece of cardboard. We had those clamped onto the tables, which is, you think, okay, that's perfect. They're not going to go anywhere. It's easy to light. It's right on the table. The problem was, Dave, that those things get awful hot. And when they get hot, the glue heats up and doesn't work so well. So we had several of those right off the bat that just fell off the table onto their side and shot back at us. So, you know, you always get a level of fun when you do this stuff, you know.
Chris, we're a little older, so did you
Yeah.
back in the day do like Roman candle fights at each other, like trying?
Oh yeah, you hold them in your hand and you shoot
yeah.
them. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. In fact, we had some retro Roman candles there. So when those shooting back at you, it gets kind of scary. But we didn't blow up any coolers. If you recall, last year we had all the mortars stored in a cooler. And we lost an ash into it, and it blew up the whole cooler. So no coolers died this year. Feel pretty good about that. Everybody's got all 10 digits.
Well done, well done. All right, so we've got a fantastic show for you guys tonight. We will kick things off with Power Rank Monday. New names for the Cleveland Indians. This is a hot topic. There's been a lot of suggestions. Chris, I think you had some of those as well. But we will go into our top 3 names we would like to see for the Indians for this coming season or beyond. After that, we're going to have our featured interview with an actual Indians player. Outfielder Delino DeShields Jr. joining the show. We'll catch up with him, see how he's feeling heading into this season. It's coming up here real soon. And then we will break down the latest and greatest Cleveland headlines, hit you with a couple Would You Rathers, and give you our bold predictions for the week. But let's kick things off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, so all signs are kind of pointing to the Cleveland Indians changing their team name. Even Tito came out, chimed in this week. I think that was actually today. He said, I think it's time to move forward. We're in 2020. Listen, if Tito says it's time to move forward, I'm ready to move forward. He's the best manager we've ever had. I'm listening to the guy. So we're going to power rank best new names for the Tribe that they could switch to. I will go off with my number 1. Giving a shout out to our guy Cody. I don't love the name, but it's going to make my number 3. The Cleveland Coyotes. I liked his designs. I thought he did a nice job with those.
And they caught a lot of conversation on there because I saw it at first. Cleveland Coyotes. I'm like, I have no idea where you're coming at with the Coyotes, but he tried to explain it. I still don't understand it.
No,
but the designs themselves were really well done, and he got a lot of run on social media. So shout out to Cody on that.
That's right.
I told him he should have named them the Coyotes for the Cuyahoga.
Oh, look at you over there, Nick.
Yeah,
look at you.
The Coyotes. No, I'm going to pass on that one too. My number 2, I'm going with the Cleveland Buzzards.
The Buzzards.
WMMS. Love rock and roll. Very Cleveland. And then we could get rid of Slider.
Oh, man.
What, do you love Slider?
I don't know what Slider is.
No one knows what Slider is. At least we know the Buzzard's a buzzard.
It's true. It's a good point.
And my number 1, the Cleveland Baseball Club. Super unique.
Catchy.
Very catchy. The CBC. I just picture Hammy with his in the announcing booth like 1920s. Like, the Cleveland Baseball Club's coming out to make the same. Yeah, see?
You know what that reminds me? That reminds
What?
me of like stuff my grandmother used to get for me, God rest her soul. But she would get things that are just off brand. So, everybody be getting Cleveland Indian stuff. I'd get Cleveland Baseball Club that she got from Walmart.
Dude, all the non-licensed T-shirt companies around here
Right.
would be like, "What do we do? Like, that's the official name. We can't use that anymore."
You can't play around the edges anymore.
But that's by far my favorite one. I think it would be kind of cool. Chris, what do you got for us?
Cleveland Baseball Club. Okay, my number 3, Dave. Let's go with the baseball club formerly known as the Indians. Grabbing a page out of Prince's playbook here.
Wow.
R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Prince. We could make it just do the block C where it's unpronounceable. It's just a logo, and we'll just go with the baseball club formerly known as the Indians. So you still have the Indians in there. So everybody's still got to call us the Indians for a while. And then eventually we'll change back or something. I don't know.
I
I
actually
like that
don't
idea.
mind that because then you have the block C that we keep. I like the block C. I don't mind it.
It's kind of a nice homage to Prince there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the division, Minnesota, right?
Sure, yeah.
Not this year, though, apparently. My number 2. A baseball tie-in, the Cleveland Swingers.
Wow.
Cleveland Swingers, right? We have like an upside-down pineapple as our new logo. I love it. In a shopping cart, right?
Yes.
The Cleveland Swingers. Winking a nod.
You
there,
just
right?
drop your keys in a fishbowl when you walk into the stadium.
Oh, that would be great. Well, that would be the corner. When you go into the corner,
The
there'd be a
district,
section of
the
corner.
district bar.
The district bar. That's right. I think this thing's got legs, Dave.
I would
Cleveland
be okay with the
Swingers.
Cleveland Swingers. Nick, what do you feel about that? No thoughts.
No,
Nick, how do you and your wife feel about
I
this?
don't understand the I don't fully understand the pineapple. I think I know what that is. Is that the universal symbol?
If you don't know what it is, then no one's told you yet. And there's probably a reason for that, Nick. You have to be selected to understand what it is. So if you're out shopping, you see somebody with an upside down pineapple in their cart, that means that they may be interested in some swinging action.
They're big Cleveland Swinger fans.
That's right. They're fans of the ball club. Go Cleveland Swingers.
I once met a swinger who I worked with. I didn't know.
Got it.
He came out at like a bar, but he called it something different. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a flex couple or something.
Flex couple.
How about
It wasn't just like
fantasy
open
football?
relationship.
The Cleveland flex couples.
Wow. Terminal. Yeah, just free agency. It's just we're all free agents here.
That's right. Was that your number one?
No, my number
Okay.
one,
Thank God.
Snadeney. How about that? You know what that is, Dave?
I don't know what that is.
That's just Indians backwards, baby.
Oh,
Just Indians backwards. Snadeney. No,
an homage to Reflog.
we
What
don't have enough.
logo
of
would
it.
that have? Chief Wahoo with a mustache?
I go with the cigar guy. I just cigar guy with a
Yes.
block C on his right in the middle.
I'd be in for that.
Yeah,
Nick, what do you
They
got
look
for
good.
us? I hope it's better than Chris's.
those are fantastic.
We'll see. So my first one got inspired by Chris. Last night he texted or he tweeted and he asked for the worst names. I think you
Right.
said wrong names only.
Right.
So I was thinking for Cleveland and I did the Red Ryder carbine action 200 shot, whatever the whole Christmas story gun is. And a guy under me, he actually gave me my idea for number 3. He said, what if we cut it short, make it the Red Riders? So my number 3 is the Red Riders. And that'd be cool for the Christmas story. We could do Dakota ring night on April nights. They could lick the foul pole.
Yes. Yes,
We
I
just
like
turn
that.
the foul pole into the
Indians
actual
score 5 or more runs.
the leg lamps.
Post-COVID, of course, on the licking the foul pole.
Yeah, whichever fan keeps his tongue on there the longest wins Ovaltine. There's a lot of
I like it.
things we could get out of that.
The Red Riders.
And then my number, and it kind of works. Keep the colors, maybe.
You'll shoot your eye out.
My
kid.
number 2. Everyone wants to go back to 90s themes, and they all like the throwback names, like the Spiders and the Blues. What if we did the Cleveland Crunch?
Hector Marinero. Yes.
Otto Orff, in homage to the old Cleveland Crunch. I mentioned that on Twitter too, and some guy thought it was a nod to the cereal, but I think he was a little
Ouch.
younger than me.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
guy.
He had no clue. Oh, we're a name after cereal.
Ouch.
So that's my number 2. My number
I like
1.
that. I like that. Or maybe like the Lumberjacks. Go back to the old hockey team
Lumberjacks.
down here.
Yeah,
that
I
almost made
remember
my
that.
list. Then I changed it with the Buzzards. But yeah, Nick, good call. I like that. All right,
Thank you. Number 1. All right, we know we're not going to be able to keep Lindor. Chris loves to talk about it.
I do. I
But-
love talking about this.
How could he walk away if we named them the Cleveland Lindors?
Oh my
You can't
God.
leave the team named after you. And when Frank Kona says, "Hey, we play for the name on the front, not on the back," Lindor could be like, "Yeah,
What's up now?
Do you have any idea
Gotcha
how
vote.
sad
Never me.
that would be
So-
when he leaves and then we're just named the Lindors? That
Yeah,
would be the
it's
saddest
almost
moment in
like-
Cleveland history.
That's never happened before. Like, I don't know, the Cleveland Browns. Paul Brown, name the team the Browns.
Right?
Then he goes to the Cincinnati Bengals.
we could be the Frankies, and then our mascot could be the Frank. It could be a hot dog."
Oh, there you go. But
I
do you
like
go
that.
ketchup, mustard, or onion?
Yeah, all 3.
Mustard,
Yes, all
mustard
of them.
onion, that's it. Forget about ketchup.
Wow. No, I don't. Would Lindor stay? Nick, would Lindor stay if we named the team after him and we gave him rights to all the merchandise?
No, because someone else will give him $300 million. We're going to offer him like $100 million, and that's not worth it.
Don't you think we need a
But-
salary cap? Maybe the Cleveland salary caps.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote to me
It
the
would kind of
Cleveland.
control the narrative for the Dolans, though.
That's
Go
true.
ahead.
That's why I'm here.
How about the Cleveland Small Marketeers?
Ooh, that's not bad.
That's pretty good,
That's not
right? The
bad.
Cleveland Small
Yeah.
Marketeers. I like that one.
Oh my god, Chris, what were some of the other names that you had from the what'd you say? Wrong names only.
From the wrong names only. Let me
Any-
pull
any
that up for a
phenomenal
second, 'cause We had some gems in here. People were really going off. I think it got like 1,500. Oh, excuse me, almost 2,000 responses.
Oh, no
That'll-
kidding.
Had a lot of Cleveland 10-cent beers. People were liking that. Of course, the Cleveland. There's a lot of the river caught on fire and derivations of that.
Get
of
outta
course,
here.
yeah. Of course, you had the Cleveland Steamers in many forms. which was a celebration of our great shipping heritage. Here in
Yes, of
Cleveland.
course.
Let's see. Midges. Midges was also very popular. The
Oh
Cleveland
yeah, the
Midges.
iconic game. Yeah.
Gross. He
Yeah.
would call them the effing midges.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
A lot of good ones, but yeah, we could debate these for a month. But let's bring in an actual baseball player who knows a whole lot more about the Cleveland Indians than we do. It is time for our featured interview of the week. We're bringing in Delino DeShields. Stay tuned. We're going to bring him on via video. We will be right back with you in about a minute. Let's get it going.
Looking good.
You hear me?
Yeah, we'll be with you one sec. Yep.
Okay. Hey, for some reason I thought it was 9 this time. I'm in Arizona.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so that's on me.
All right, and we are live with one of the newest members of the Cleveland Indians, center fielder Delino DeShields Jr. joining us live. Delino, first and foremost, man, how you feeling?
What's up, guys? I'm feeling all right. You know, I know everybody heard about my positive COVID test, and you know, I feel like a lot of people reached out to me and, you know, kind of panicking a little bit, but I'm fine. My symptoms were really mild. I lost my taste and smell, and that was pretty much about it. But as of today, or as of the last couple of days, I've been feeling good, and, you know, I'm ready to leave Arizona and go out to Cleveland and join my team.
Very cool. Okay, glad you're feeling better, man. So what does that look like for your return to baseball? I know there's a lot of parameters. They're being extra cautious with everything. I know you have to have a couple negative tests, and then you get back to Cleveland, and then you can finally rejoin the team after a while.
Yeah. I think like right now, you know, they just want me to get there. So as soon as I get a negative test here, then I can go on a plane and go. I'm obviously going to have to get retested when I get there. And, you know, if everything goes good, then I can go to the ballpark and you know, start training with the guys again. But yeah, this whole process it's kind of trash. I mean, like, you know, if you get a positive test, you have to sit out. You know, you can't like throw with nobody. You can't go to batting cages. You literally have to just sit inside and try to. I guess you take mental reps. I mean, that's all you really can do. But
what do you got there? Do you have any like video games or anything? What have you been doing for the last like week?
I just been trying to just stay in shape as much as I can.
Okay.
You know, trying to take mental reps in my head. That's really about it. As far as baseball related activities go, I haven't really done much. So it's been really frustrating, because going to camp, I was going into spring training. It's kind of like you hit the ground running. All the stuff you did during the off season is go time. Then it's put on the pause. And then, I tested positive right before, we were about to start the summer camp. And so now I kind of feel like I'm a little behind, but, I work hard and I feel like I'll be ready to go come the opening of the season.
So with the schedule being announced today, is that something else that starts really building for that excitement for you that, hey, this could be real? I mean, there's still some doubt over whether we're going to be playing, but you finally got something down on paper. So, hey, we're going to be playing ball games, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of makes it more real for sure. I noticed on August 16th, they were going to, honor the 100th year anniversary for the Negro Leagues. That's actually my birthday. And I don't know if y'all
awesome.
I have a whole sleeve on my leg in dedication to the Negro League. So
yeah, we saw that on Twitter.
Yeah. So it's kind of a cool, I don't know, like the stars just aligned. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully we get there. But, I think it's best that, we try to stay as optimistic as we can during these times. So we'll see.
You've always been vocal on social issues, and right now everyone's talking about the Indians potentially changing their name. Any thought on the Indians changing their name? Any suggestions that you might have if they do it?
No, I mean, I think we all need to be sensitive to, how people are feeling. I know like names like the Indians and the Redskins, people take offense to that. And, if it means changing the name to make, part of America more comfortable, then I feel like, that's what we need to do. I honestly haven't thought of any names. These minor league teams, right? They've, if they relocated, I feel like they've been changing their names a lot over the past like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And they're all like really funky names. So I think it would be kind of funny if it would be something just, out of the ordinary, like not like something that you would typically see.
Something super weird.
Report. Yeah. I think that would be funny and cool. But I don't know how that will work with promotions and stuff. But if it was me, that's kind of the route that I would go.
What about the Cleveland Lindors?
Name it after one player.
I mean, let's just pray that he's still with us.
That's right.
Come next year, So,
well, here's a question.
I don't know if that's a smart route to go, but.
Delino, when you're a free agent, if a team came up to you and they said, "Hey, we're offering you half the money, but we'll be the Detroit DeShields," would you play for the Detroit DeShields for half the money?
if they agreed naming rights to the team,
you would have to give me like 10% of the franchise too.
Okay. Tough negotiator, man.
If my name's gonna be on it,
fair.
I gotta everything that you sell. I want part of that. I want a piece of it. So that's the deal.
Heck yeah, why not? I love it. So Delano, you've been very vocal on racism, on inequality in America, on ever since George Floyd's murder. I know a lot of people, kind of including myself, really appreciate you using your platform, trying to bring action, bring change, bring equality here, in America. As the MLB starts to kind of kick off here, is there anything you'd kind of like to see from the league or some of the players just to kind of keep that going? Because, once the hashtags end, social media, it's sometimes things can die down. We want to keep it going. Any suggestions for the MLB?
I don't know. I've kind of been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, something that weighs on me daily. But, I know you see like in the NFL, they're doing the Black national anthem before the game. I wouldn't recommend that because I feel like that, kind of creates some sort of division. Like we have a Black national anthem. Is there a white national anthem? And is there a Native American national anthem? So I think that could be kind of confusing to me, at least. So I don't really know.
I guess more with like the players, like using their platform, kind of like how you have been, just to like raise awareness. Because like even from you, just being vocal on Instagram and on Twitter, like I've learned a lot and I've thought a lot about it. Like I remember going to Taco Bell with my buddies at midnight, sitting in the parking lot. We never had any cops bother us. Or with guns, like looking at their guns or holding their guns, like it's made me think a ton more. And it's that's just a couple of tweets from your personal experience. It's just, I don't know. I'd kind of like to see some more MLB players put it out there because they do have these gigantic platforms.
Yeah, like I'm doing all that I can. My following, I have a decent following, but there's a lot of guys in our sport that have, a bigger following. And, now's the time to not be silent. I can say as much as I want to say, but, if it doesn't, reach the people that needs to be reached, then, I don't feel like it's all for nothing, because I feel like what I've been putting out there has been challenging the thoughts of a lot of people in America. And, that's kind of, my approach to why I've been so vocal. I'm not asking you to understand, but I kind of want you to, I just want to challenge you in your thoughts and kind of look yourself in the mirror and just think about your whole life. And if you've experienced racism or whatever it is, and if the answer is no, then, I just really want you to just to listen and hear what I have to say. And, I feel like a lot of the Black, and there's not many of us, but the Black players that play baseball, we've been pretty vocal about it for the most part.
Right.
I don't know if anybody's been as vocal as I have, but, we just have to start somewhere. And, if I started on like a really small scale and then it grows to like a larger scale, then, that's okay. If I can impact one person a day, then I feel like I'd be doing my job. So I think the players definitely need to kind of, keep speaking out, keep, telling their stories, man. And because when you tell your stories, it becomes real. And I feel like people kind of gravitate more to those stories, and they can not necessarily relate more to them, but they feel it more, as opposed to just kind of seeing something on TV. Like, you really don't know what the news is putting out there. You know what I'm saying? So I think those real life experiences and those real life stories really help, connect people and connect people's emotions and their feelings. And I don't know. I just, for me, I'm gonna keep my foot on the pedal and just kind of, see what happens in the future.
Yeah, well, it's three white guys here on a podcast, but we got your back, and we appreciate everything you're doing, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt.
And switching gears, talk about something maybe a little more lighthearted. Your dad was a really good player and played for a long time, had almost 500 career stolen bases. And father-son tandems have kind of always been interesting to me. You have the Griffeys, the Guerreros, the Bonds, the Bells. The list goes on and on, especially in baseball. What do you think plays a bigger part in that? Is it just genetics, that you got the same eye coordination and everything else from your dad? Or is it more you've been around the game forever and you had access to the best trainers and coaches and players? And what do you think? Is it more nature or nurture kind of in your case? Or a combination?
I would say it's a little bit of both. Like, people ask me all the time what I did growing up, to, you know, be good at sports. And I kind of was just like, it's just genetic. I don't know. I never like did speed training. I didn't start working out until like my sophomore year in high school. And that was because I played football. You know, a lot of it is, I feel like, is genetics. And then a lot of it too is just being in that environment growing up, you know, and being in the big league clubhouse to where, okay, when I got to the big leagues, it was like, it was comfortable to me because I had already been there in a sense. And then obviously me and my dad had plenty of conversations when I was coming through the minor leagues. He helped me kind of grind that out, and because it is a grind. You know, those long bus trips and you know, not getting the best quality food. You know, it could be hard for a lot of guys. So, you know, it was definitely nice having kind of like a teacher, just a phone call away that I could call at any time and kind of help guide me through that. But yeah, I would say it's a little bit of both. Obviously, I work really hard to be in the position that I am. You know, it's a blessing to be in the big leagues. You know, only 3% of guys who play make it to the show. So I'm not saying that I got there just based off of genetics. Like, there's a lot of extra, you know, work that I had to put in, and a lot of you know, time and repetition to get to where I'm at. But you know, growing up, I think it was for sure a little, you know, the nurture and the nature definitely helped. And you know, I love the game. I think that's something that is really important. You know, I play with a lot of guys coming up through the minor leagues who had the talent, had the ability, but didn't really love the sport. Didn't really like. They complain about going to the ball field, and they complain about the food. They complain about, you know, how much money they're making. I'm like, yeah, bro, you know, this is a game we get to play for a living. Like, be grateful. You know what I'm saying? You know, not a lot of people get to say they get to do this on a daily basis for their job. So, you know, I think having that love for the game definitely helps propel you, you know, to get to the big leagues.
And where would you rank you at on the all-time father-son list?
Wow.
Me and Pops.
Wow.
I don't. I mean,
I know you're not done yet.
I would have to see a list of father-son duos, and then I could probably, you know, rank them.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's at the bottom. I wouldn't say it's at the top. It's somewhere in between. But there's one thing that we have that nobody's ever done before. We're the first father-son duo to get drafted in the first round out of high school. So wow. I kind of take that with me, and
cool.
That's some history for you guys.
Yeah,
nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Who's faster, you or your dad?
I mean, so my mom ran track and field, right?
Yeah.
And if we were on the room or at a table talking, she would say she was my dad would actually say, you know, my mom was faster than him. But I don't know, I'm pretty damn fast too. So, you know, it's hard to say because, you know, I've watched my dad play plenty of times before, but, you know, I don't know what he was like at his prime. But I think if you line all three of us up in our prime, it'd be a fun race to watch for sure. Your
mom's gonna win. It sounds like your mom's gonna win. Come on.
I've never lost a race in my entire life. So
losing to your mom would be a tough way to go, man.
I don't know if that's just like ability or I just hate fucking losing. So it's one or the other. But I you know, growing up, I used to my acceleration was trash, like super slow out the gate. But if I saw somebody in front of me, it was like something in my brain just was like, no, it's not happening. I'm not losing. And I'd dust them. So it is what it is. But yeah, I've never lost a race, so don't count me out.
Do you put any extra pressure on yourself since you were traded for such a fan favorite here in Cleveland and Corey Kluber? Does that come into your mind at all, or do you just kind of push that off to the side that, hey, this is my home right now. I'm just going to play and be the person I am?
Yeah, I just want to just come in and just be me. I've dealt with pressure my whole life, being the son of a major leaguer. I still, to this day, I'll be on deck in the box, hear somebody in Tampa where there's 2,000 fans yelling, "You'll never be as good as your dad," So, that's nonstop. Luckily for me, my dad, he got traded for Pedro Martinez straight up, one-on-one. So, he's kind of helped me, through this process because, he was traded for a Hall of Famer, and, I got traded for, a two-time Cy Young winner. It makes me feel good that the Indians thought of me, and, that I was valuable enough to be a part of that trade and come in and help the team win, hopefully win the World Series. So, that means a lot to me. And, when people show me that they care and they want me, it kind of, gives me an extra chip on my shoulder to go out there and give them everything I got. So, I'm just excited to get on the field. I've have limited playing time with these guys. So, that's kind of why I'm frustrated that I'm out here, not in Cleveland.
That you're talking to us and not in Cleveland.
Right.
What's it going to be like when you finally get on the field and every single location you play at is going to be worse than Tampa? You're going to have less than 2,000. You're going to have nobody there in terms of fans. What's that going to be like, man? Can you do it?
I mean, at least it's going to be an even playing field across the board. You know what I'm saying? So, like, mentally, you're going and knowing, okay, there's no. I played in Lancaster, California, in the Cal League, and the attendance in the Cal League, if you were not like Rancho or San Jose, or that's pretty much it. The attendance was really bad. So, like, my teammates and I, we balled out that year. But like the fact, like we were already mentally prepared that we were going to come out and there was to be no fans there on a Friday night type of thing. But we didn't care. We had each other, and we were going to play hard for one another. And, we wanted to win as many ball games as we could. And that's what we did. So I don't know. I think it's just how you take it. Granted, I've never played in a stadium with no fans at the big league level. So that might be kind of strange, but I don't know. We'll see.
You guys are going to win the World Series, and it's going to be like you're going to hit the game-winning single, bring in the run. It's going to be crickets.
Right? Wait, we'll be going bonkers.
Yeah, you will. All right, so Delano, we have a segment that we do called Would You Rather. I've got one for you here. So would you rather rob a home run to clinch a win or steal home to clinch the W?
I mean, I steal bags. So I think I love taking away homers, taking away hits. It's something that I take a lot of pride in. So I would probably say taking away homers.
Really? Okay. And the crowd will go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, stealing home is dope. You know what I'm saying? But like just seeing the look on the batter's face after you take away a homer is, yeah.
We need that on a T-shirt in Cleveland. Stealing home is dope. I love that saying.
Get
out of Cleveland T-shirt companies.
I'm an asshole. Like I don't care if we friends or not. I'm just taking everything away from you. I don't care, and I expect you to do the same to me too. So we're on an even playing field.
I love it. Delano, we've kept you a while. We really appreciate the time. This was a lot of fun. Really, really looking forward to seeing you here in Cleveland. I know it's going to be kind of weird with no fans, but all of Cleveland supports you. Appreciate everything that you're doing, and really looking forward to seeing you back here in Cleveland.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for having me, guys. Good talking to y'all.
Yeah, you too. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Delino DeShields Jr. joining the show. Fantastic stuff out of him. And let's move into some Cleveland headlines.
Well, Dave, as we continue with this hot stretch of weather, and it has been hot, Cleveland Clothing Company has you covered with their new line of summer arrivals. They offer many new designs on tank tops, blow the doors off the sides, right? And lightweight T-shirts to keep you looking and feeling cool. You can visit any of their locations like downtown on East 4th, the Summit Mall in Akron, in Shaker Heights, or by the Big Play Studio in Crocker Park. And when you shop on their website at Cleveland Clothing Co., remember to use our promo code BIGPLAY20 to get 20% off your purchase.
That is right. Great stuff from Delino, by the way, before we get into headlines. That was phenomenal.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, he's great.
Didn't you get kind of the feeling that he's just like all by himself in Arizona? Is like, get me the hell out of here.
Chomping at the bit, the mental reps, and he's just sick of doing that.
Yeah.
He wants to go and play live for everybody in Cleveland. Got me pumped up to watch him.
That's right. All right, so let's get into some Indians because we just had the schedule released here. Let me fix this headline here. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Perfect. 2 hours ago, schedule's released. Tribes playing 60 games in 66 days. Insane. 10 games against each AL Central opponent, 20 games against the entire NL Central. Nick, after seeing this schedule, how do you feel about the Indians' chances?
It's weird only playing the two divisions, but if you let Tito pick the schedule, I don't know if he could have made a better one for the Tribe. When you look at the NL Central, the way they broke it down, instead of letting everybody play, instead of playing each team 4 times, which would make sense to make 20 games, they kind of broke it and made it different. We play St. Louis and Milwaukee 3 times each, and they both made the playoffs. And then they gave us the Pirates 6 times, and they only won 69 games last year. So it's kind of cool the way they broke it down. They gave us all the bad teams a bunch of times and all the good teams only a few times.
Chris,
yeah, we wrap up against Pittsburgh as well. I mean, there's only 60 games. Do we want to do the schedule game here like we do for the Browns?
Oh, my God, no. Please don't.
Friday, July 24th, we play Kansas City at 7:10. Win or loss, Dave?
That's a win. They're all wins, Chris.
And Saturday, the 25th, we play at 5:10 against Kansas City. Once again, that's a home game. I'm looking for us to go 2-0, right?
I'm just going to cut your microphone.
We can go through the whole schedule. Come on, let's play the schedule game. I don't know. If we actually play, this will be great. It'll be a lot of fun.
Isn't it cool that with I've been saying the MLB should do this for a very long time. Like maybe not 60.
Play baseball? Yeah.
Yes, thank God. But not 60 games, but like cut the season in half. I know they're not going to do it with TV revenue and all of that, but I mean, now these games actually mean something.
Thank you, COVID. Thank you, COVID, for finally doing what MLB should have done a long time ago, which is cut back on the schedule, right?
They need some silver lining in 2020. Yeah.
That's right. I'll take it. And plus, we play more regional teams, which means we get the Pittsburghs of the world. I love that. We play the Cubs. I love playing the Cubs because we need some revenge.
And we end the season in an empty stadium against Pittsburgh, so that should feel right up our alley.
Yeah. It's just like the Browns, It'll be perfect. Hopefully we won't go in there and get blown out like the Browns like to do.
Oh, man. Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited to have some type of sports on. Love watching baseball, grabbing the beer, grabbing the peanuts, watching it on the flat screen. And it's not going to be that different. I go to a few games here and there throughout the year, but It's Tribe, man. We're always top 5 market in TV. We're all watching here around Cleveland, Ohio. And like I was watching, what was I watching? I was sitting in the garage watching
Baywatch.
No, it was like
Silk Stockings.
No.
I'm just pulling out 90s shows here. How about that? Alf.
It was like the Strongest Man competition. It was live, but it was in the Middle East, and it was like a weird feed on YouTube TV, but it was live sports. I was like, this is awesome. There was a guy carrying like 2 girls. Like it made no sense.
Nick, we have to have an intervention with Dave. He's really gone to the dark side.
I need some
here,
sports.
Man.
I need some
You're
sports.
watching grainy YouTube video from the Middle East to get live sports. That's bad, man.
That is bad.
That's one of the sure signs. And you're probably doing it by yourself in the garage, in secret, so no one knows.
Hold on, let me get the music going to cut you off there.
Betting on it.
Betting on it.
Nick, you know me too well. The NFL has cut the preseason in half, getting rid of week 1 and week 4 of preseason. NFLPA is pushing to cancel all the preseason games. I know season ticket holders would probably like that. Chris, good idea. How is that going to affect the Browns? How is that going to affect the season?
This is the second headline in a row. I'm going to say thank you, COVID. Thank you.
Yeah,
everybody's been saying, get rid of preseason games, cut it down. We don't need it. You know, we don't do it in college, but we do it for the pros. So these guys get better, get more experience. Then we decide that they need 4 games to get ready for the season. I am loving the fact that they're cutting it back. However, it does mean that I don't think we're going to have the GLC. And the likelihood of the GLC going forward is lessened if we continue to cut it back to 2 games. So that does get lost in all of this.
Do we have the Barge right now?
I don't know. I have no idea who has the Barge. I think we do. I hope we do. If not, we need to go on like some mission, like out of a bad college comedy, and go up to Detroit and steal it. It's probably still back at like the Silver Dome or something.
Who knows? I mean, I would worry that since we have so many rookies, so many young guys, this is going to have a bad effect on us. But like 2020 is given enough to worry about. I'm not going to sit here in July and worry about how many games we're going to play in the preseason.
You know what happens, Dave, and everybody knows this. You have some guys you fall in love with. They give some extra time, and then they end up getting cut anyway, the Josh Lentzes, right? So that I keep bringing up all the time. You know, we fall in love with them. They give them all the playing time because they want them to showcase what they could do. And they still decide the guy who's sitting next to him on the bench, who you haven't seen that much, is still better than that guy that's been balling out all week. So, and for 4 games. So I don't know. It doesn't mean much to me. I'm glad that they're cutting.
Does this mean no Hard Knocks?
I don't know.
I
thought they had already awarded Hard Knocks, didn't they? Of course, that would be coming up in August here, just a few weeks.
Let's ask our associate producer. Oh wait, he's on with us.
Can't be the Browns.
I want to say, yeah, I want to say it was LA, and they were going to do both teams, unless that was just like a pipe dream I heard about.
I think you're right. I think that may have come out amongst all this other stuff. You forget about actual news stuff when it gets kind of thrown in with the COVID and what actually is going to happen, what's not going to happen. Yeah, and I seem to remember that as well, though, Nick.
The only battle I really care about in preseason is kicking and punting battles, and we have that shored up this year. We're fine. We've got Gillen.
Oh,
no issues.
You're just going to hand the job to Baker Mayfield this year? Wow, with Case Keenum in camp?
I said punting, kicking. Baker Mayfield's not punting or kicking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Those are the only competitions that you care about. That insinuates that you have already handed over the reins of the starting quarterback to Baker Mayfield. I got killed on the Bud Light take last week. I'm not going to go against. I'm not going full Case Keenum this week. Die on the Case Keenum hill this week. Give me a week off. Bud Light hill was too bloody. Give me a week off. Oh, I was leading you to death.
I don't know, cutting it up and having them just say, having Dave just say, all I care about is kicking and punting would be a good one.
Talk some David Njoku, because he has apparently asked the Browns to trade him by the beginning of camp. Nick, what should we do with David Njoku?
Nothing. I mean, he hasn't really done enough to demand a trade. I'm not going to come on and bash him like a lot of people did on social media, because he probably will still be a Brown the next couple of years. He had 5 catches last season. He's always shown glimpses, but it's not like he was Kyrie Irving when he demanded a trade, where he had won a title and was perennial all-star. He really hasn't done enough to have that much, power and sway in his decision, or in his
you're not going to get anything from him. Maybe 6th rounder, 5th, if you got really, really lucky and you trade at the Giants and just fleece Gettleman again.
Well, and it's weird too, because everyone keeps talking about how Stefanski uses 2 tight ends all the time, and so they think he's mad about Hooper, but he should be on the field with Hooper.
Yeah, that's just a strange dynamic, especially when you got Stefanski, tight end heavy offense coming in here. You've got Njoku talking about how he loves competition, and then you get freaking Drew Rosenhaus.
Yeah, he comes
out of nowhere.
Just ruins the party. He's the guy you don't want to see showing up, and he showed up at the party, and all of a sudden he's talking to everybody about leaving it. So, that says a lot about Njoku to me. I would come in. You've got a talented tight end meeting room now. You've got a coach, as you said, that loves the tight ends. This is a great opportunity for you to show your leadership. And rather than doing that, you're looking for a payday right now. And I just fine, whatever. I definitely lose a lot of respect for him. And he's a guy we've talked about how many times on this show, Dave? I keep bringing him up saying, man, if this guy could stay on the field, I think he's tremendous. He's got so many physical tools. He can't catch the ball, which is a big problem. We know that. But man, if he could just flip that switch, he could be something. I thought maybe this is the year for him. And he starts doing this stuff, and he's just lost me. He's lost me.
Friend of the show, Mickey Sudo, broke the women's hot dog eating record. 48.5 hot dogs and buns eaten in 10 minutes. She guaranteed the record on our show that she was going to get over 46. Added 2.5 just for fun. Does this make her the most accomplished guest that we've ever had on the Big Play Reflux show?
Wow.
We've had a lot of good guests.
We have Mark Price comes to mind right off the bat.
Joe Thomas.
Finer, Joe Thomas, some of these greats of Cleveland. I'm going to say yes. Yes, absolutely. Way to go, Mickey. That's just fantastic, though. That was fun to watch. It was set up for her to win, and she not only won, but she took it to the next level. You could tell there toward the end, she was kind of feeling it. She was a little, I saw some nerves maybe kicking in at the end over her actually getting to that record, and to see her be able to find that next level, get it done. There's a lot of this that you can't tell from the drama that they're creating to the actual competition. They do a good job of mixing the two.
Yep.
And you could definitely tell that it meant something to her down the stretch there. So congrats to her. Thank you for coming on the show. We also gave you back some karma, and and it was great to watch on Saturday at noon.
The way these mega athletes flourish after coming on our show is like incredible.
That's right.
It's incredible. It's consistent. Anyone who wants to come on the show, come on. Delano Shields is going to win the MVP. I know it this year now.
It's right. Weary, he wasn't even in the competition before he got on our show. Then, boom, look at that. He's on the show. Then he goes into the competition. He's announced like the next day. He was right there with Joey Chestnut early. For anybody who watched this, he was right up there with Joey, about 10 dogs back, and he was sticking it there for a good half, I would say. Second half, Joey kind of took over and left. He ended up finishing third, but he had a good showing for somebody who wasn't even supposed to be out there. That was his day off, and he was out there and he showed out.
That's right. It's time for some Would You Rathers. Before we do that, let's check in with the chat. Right, I do an awful job with this, and we should bring in the chat. Thank you, Chris. A little bit more than we do. So, what's up, John? What's up, Mike? What's up, Brian? KCD, Kev. Everyone tuning in liked the Delino interview. A lot of late additions to the naming rights of the Cleveland Indians. See if Cleveland Wildcats. The Cleveland Cookies.
Okay, Cookie for Carrasco. Wildcats for what?
I don't know. I feel like that's like 80% of the high school teams around here.
That's true. That and Bulldogs.
Yes.
Cleveland Bulldogs.
The Machines, the Bombers. The John, doesn't Delano have Corona? What is he doing?
He's on with us.
Yes. Hey, man, he's good. He's good. Yeah, some good comments. Yeah, we got to bring the comments in a little bit more.
Any mistakes that they caught? Those are always fun.
No mistakes. We are errorless yet again.
Wrap up quick. We are on a roll, man.
That's right. All right. Would you rather? Here we go. I'm gonna go with Nick on this one. Would you rather the Indians change to a ridiculous name, but re-sign Lindor long term, or the perfect name and Lindor leaves?
Why do we have to work this into every show? Can I object to a question?
Hand up. That's
about Lindor leaving every show. We ask our guests about it. I'm surprised we didn't bring it up last week with Mickey. I mean, come on. Do we have to crowbar Lindor in?
I have tried to sneak it in a few times just to kind of get on your nerves. But
damn you.
I do love that Delino was like, that's a really bad idea.
Yeah, but he thought about the Detroit to Shields.
Yeah, he did.
Man, he was all he is going to be a shrewd businessman. I tell you what, he was all over what next steps are going to look like.
That's right.
Don't mess with
we'll
him
never
around the table.
Dolan will never re-sign him.
That's right.
That's right. Nick, which one are you picking?
I feel like this is probably an easy one. You should just want Lindor, but at the same time, you get Lindor for what? 7 more good years ish. You have to live with a bad name for the rest of my life.
Cleveland Steamers is the name, and you get Lindor. What are you going with?
I take Lindor.
Ooh. Here, let me give you the odds. We haven't gone over the odds here of the names.
I love BetOnline AG, by the way. They do the greatest, funniest odds out there.
Yeah, so the leader in the clubhouse is Spiders at 3-1.
Ugh.
And you've got the Naps at 4-1. Guardians, which everybody loves. And
I
Dave,
hate that.
I personally don't get it. I get the logo that's gotten a lot of play here in the last few years. Kind of came out of nowhere. I don't remember it as a kid, like anybody playing up the Guardians. Did they? Was I misremembering my childhood? I don't remember the Guardians being a big thing.
No, they weren't. And especially like downtown Cleveland, everyone loves the Guardians. And what we did, like the LeBron mural, is now the Guardian. And you look at that driving in on Ontario, you're like, oh, it's the Guardian mural now. And then you look like 500 feet over to the left, and it's the actual Guardian. Like, I don't get our obsession with the Guardian.
And you know,
it's an XFL team.
Traffic. It's the Guardians of Traffic.
Right.
Is there a bigger letdown than that? Like, you think the Guardians of the city, the Guardians of Cleveland, and you think, oh yeah. And then you realize it's the Guardians of Traffic. It's like, oh man, that just falls off. Just kind of falls off there. So I don't get the obsession with the Guardians myself. I mean, I like the logo. It's okay, but
right.
I don't know. So going on down the list, you have the Buckeyes at 6-1. You've got the Buckeyes now. That's going back to the Negro League team. That's what Delino was talking about.
Yeah, but that's kind of crowded in Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Buckeyes.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit. They may have some problems with trademarks too. You go down the Buckeyes. which obviously I don't think that the Dolans are going to be willing to pay a premium to get that name.
No.
The Cleveland Buckeyes.
Wow.
Yes, you got to add the Dobies at 7-1, Wild
There you
Things
go.
8-1, the Blue Sox at 9-1. A lot of people were liking this today, and I was like, I can't go with the Blue Sox. First of all, I hate the White Sox. I hate the Red Sox. So there's no way I'm going to go with a name in that same vein with the Blue Sox.
I think people were just saying red, white, and blue, America. We would, no. I have no interest in that name.
Okay, the worst name by far though is Cleveland Rocks, and that's in here at 10-1.
Why
Cleveland
do so many
Rocks,
people like this?
I don't know. I don't get it. And it's all out of town people or people in the national media who like, it's literally like, hey, I had a great idea. I was listening to this song. What if they named him the Cleveland Rocks? It's like, even when I listen to that song, I mean, there's a certain irony that you listen to that song, right? I mean, you don't actually think it's a good song, right?
I would rather go with the Cleveland Drew Carey's.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a good one.
It's a campy song that we play. You know, you don't want to name the team the Cleveland Rocks. I'm sorry. The Cleveland Cuyahogas at 15-1.
There you go, Nick.
The
Coyotes.
Crows or Rockers, both 20-1. The Cleveland Unions, 25-1. The Cleveland Fellers, 33-1. The Cleveland Great Lakes, 40-1. And the Cleveland Steamers, off the board. So there you go. There's what they're looking at, courtesy of betonline.com.
Wow. All right, let's move on.
With the maps named after Mike Napoli?
Yes, of course they were. Obviously.
What if we went the Lumberjacks and we could just use Napoli as like his huge beard as the logo?
That would be great.
Yeah, Lumberjacks. That's
We could
kind of
have
growing on me.
Him and Jamie Gillen could both be like
Right.
the mascots, just interchangeably.
We just
The
wear
Scottish Hammers.
Oh, there you go. We just wear red and blue plaid shirts instead of jerseys. Be the
Plaid
most
all
unique.
the time. Plaid all the time. We bring back ska because ska and plaid were kind of a thing with Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I like this.
All right, I got one for you, Chris. Let's switch back to the NFL because Patrick Mahomes, he just signed that mega 10-year extension with the Chiefs today. Josh McCown, do you see this on Twitter? He was poking fun about it, asking if his 1-year deals with 10 teams was as impressive as Mahomes.
Incredible.
Would you rather have a 10-year deal with one team or 1-year deals with 10 teams? So basically, would you rather be Josh McCown or Patrick Mahomes?
Right. I would rather have a 10-year deal with one team, Francisco Lindor. I think that's the real thing that you want to do is just stay in one place where people love you. You can be successful. You'll make your money both ways. But in this way, you will treat the fans. They will treat you back with all the love and adoration. And that's why you sign the 10-year deal and you stay and be loyal.
Chris, would you give Baker Mayfield a 10-year deal where he had $107 million guaranteed by March?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I like Baker. I like Baker a lot, but there's no way I'm doing that. You do that after you win the Super Bowl. That's where you could do that kind of stuff. You don't do that when the guy's just come off a sophomore slump and you don't know what you're looking at for the next year and you've got a new head coach. This is not the time to be signing him to any ultra long deals.
I just want to throw that out there and make you look bad. If we say absolutely not, and then the Baker people will come after you.
That's right. Oh, they will do it. I can't wait.
Bold predictions.
Bold predictions.
All right, Nick, you've had a lot of time to think about this. Bold prediction for the week. What do you got for us?
My bold prediction is that the Cleveland t-shirt companies are going to start making up shirts for all these fake names we have. The Spiders, the Guardians,
Ooh.
the Steamers. They'll have shirts coming out this week.
That's what we need. That's what Cleveland needs right now.
Possible
T-shirt
logo T-shirts.
What if this is like
Oh,
it ends
God.
up being like a stimulus package for Cleveland?
It could
Just
be.
having all these names and all these potential shirts out there. It's just a stimulus package going through the T-shirt companies. I mean, that would make sense if you're going to stimulate the economy in any way in Cleveland. It would be through the T-shirt companies. This is actually a really good idea.
All right, my bold prediction for the week. I think that we are going to hear from David Njoku on Twitter.
Oh boy,
with a little bit of a backtrack, because I think the Browns are going to tell Rosenhaus, "Screw you. We're not getting anything for this guy. We're lining him up in Stefanski's offense."
Wow.
Njoku, he's going to Twitter. Bold prediction.
My bold prediction, Dave, I've been hearing some whispers out there about the Cleveland Indians, not just the name change, but also maybe some problems with the lease. And there are some cities right now that are looking for some Major League Baseball teams. And I hate to say it, but there is some talk out there of the Cleveland Indians potentially trying to leverage their way into some new deals with the city by saying that they're going to leave. So I hope that doesn't happen.
Boo.
Obviously. But there are those whispers out there, Dave. And of course, I want to be out there underneath all of these. So if it does happen later on, I can point to this show and say, hey, see, I was talking about it way back then before anybody else had it.
For the brand. That's
exactly what we don't need right now, Dolans. If any of that is on the horizon, right now is not the time to start down that road, my friends.
Oh, what a depressing way to end the show. Nick, bring us back up.
You're welcome.
All right.
You're welcome, everyone.
Well, I got to get rich quick for us.
Here we go.
What if we go? Let's copyright the Cleveland Spiders and the Cleveland Guardians, and get ahead of it, and make the Dolans buy it off us.
Yes. So Nick, go out there on Google, and I want you to trademark the Cleveland Coyote Hoggins or whatever you said.
Coyotes. They can be on fire.
That is so awful. It's good. That's great. I love it.
Hey, Delino said he wanted a corny, kind of gimmicky name.
Yeah, I kind of feel him on that. Like, if we are gonna change this name, then let's just do something super weird. I don't know what that is, but Chris, I bet you have a laundry list of them.
Oh yeah, well, from what everybody had sent me earlier, there's no doubt about it. There's
Cleveland Steamers, let's go.
Bad ideas out there. Cleveland Steamers, here we come.
That's right.
Burning Rivers.
Oh, good God.
Everybody wants the Burning Rivers.
All right. Well, hopefully all of you have tuned out by now.
And I got more than a few Cleveland Redskins and Washington Redskins.
Oh, my
and
God.
Other people who said the Northern Ohio Indians, obviously not getting
changing Cleveland. Wow. A lot of people out there on the internet. The internet people never lose. Okay. Thanks for tuning in to the Big Play Reflux show this week. We'll see you next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Huge shout out to Delino DeShields joining us in quarantine on video. That was awesome. Love chatting with him. Good luck to him this season and getting out of quarantine there. Huge shout out to Shaq News, Cleveland Clothing Company, and we will see you guys next week.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Free Shakalaka.